exploring Dubai, and my first stop is here, Dubai Miracle Garden, which is somewhere I've always wanted to come to. I often see all these photos on Instagram, and it's lots of beautiful, how would you describe it? Not just flowers, but they're put into different shapes, like different hedges and stuff, kind of like shaped like horses and all sorts. So yeah, hopefully it'll be fun. Not too sure how big this place is. Might just be a circle, might take me half an hour, could take me a couple of hours, who knows. But yeah, those heads are huge, so much bigger than I realised. Village. I don't think there's many flowers. Oh, actually, there are still lots of flowers around here, but obviously lots of little houses. Ah, Gargamel and his cat, whose name I can't remember, something like Azrael or something. I have not seen the Smurfs since I was a kid. I think I've seen most of it, if not all of it. How long have we been here? 40 minutes, 45 minutes? I did come pretty much when it first opened, and it is starting to get busier and it's starting to get hotter. It's only about 30 degrees, but the humidity is quite strong here. But yeah, it was worth coming. It was about £20 a ticket, which is not too bad. I think you could easily spend an hour here, 2 hours max, I would say. There are a few other things to do. There's shops all over the place, but it seems to be quite tacky. Souvenirs. There's quite a few food places to eat, and there's a crazy golf course as well. But I think I've seen as much as I want to see here, so I'm going to move on to see some of the other sites that Dubai has to offer. My next stop is this shopping mall. It's maybe the only shopping mall I go into in Dubai, because I'm really not here for the shopping. But there should be an entrance somewhere to a place called The View, which gives you an amazing view of the Palm, which is a man-made island with quite expensive resorts on it, and there's actually an amazing aquarium right at the end. And as much as I'm against zoos, I kind of think aquariums are okay, so that is also somewhere that I plan to check out after this.
The Outer Break Wall. The Break Wall stretches 5.3 kilometres east to west and 5 kilometres north to south.
I'm at the top view at the Palm. This isn't the best view from here. I think I need to go around a bit, but this island is huge. It's all man-made. So what was quite interesting is there was like a whole video and a whole informative map and everything before you come up in a lift. And it told you how, I think it was like 7 million tons of rock from mountains was used as a foundation before they added loads of sand. Opened in 2006. I think they started it in the late 90s. They had to use satellites from space to make sure it was all symmetrical, but it's quite amazing to think all this is man-made. And in the distance there you've got the wheel and you've got the Atlantis Hotel, which I want to get a bit of a better look at a bit later. And this is the view at the Palm. Well, I think my GoPro has died its final death. I'm gonna have to get a new action camera of some sort. I'm looking at maybe getting an Insta360. Anyway, I'm trying to find the bloody monorail so I can go to the aquarium. I've been walking around the streets for ages, walking around shopping malls for ages. One thing I've got to say about Dubai, it's not very well organised. I mean, as soon as I arrived at the airport, immigration was a nightmare. There was no clear signs where to go. Some guy was telling me to go to the fast track, which is only for like people that have been to Dubai before. Took ages to queue up. Trying to get a ticket for the metro at the airport was chaos. There's only one ticket machine working for loads of people trying to get on the metro. I just find that things are quite poorly signposted and not so well organised for such a big city. So I found the monorail. Didn't take too long. And I got a ticket for the aquarium. It's about £20. I got it before I got here, which worked out cheaper because otherwise it would have been about 25-30. But I've ended up in another shopping mall because somewhere the big aquarium is in this shopping mall. I just have to work out where. It turned out to be right outside where I was. It is very dark in here, but hopefully the tanks will be lit up and I'll be able to get some photos and videos of that. There are some big fish in here. I mean, these fish are huge. I don't know how I feel about this because the tank is not as big as I thought it would be, especially in relation to the size of these fish. So I'm hoping some of the other tanks that I come across are going to be a bit bigger. I'm now on some kind of boardwalk, which is just by the sea. But I've mainly come here because I wanted to get a good look at the Atlantis Hotel, which I think is the most famous hotel in Dubai, and probably the most expensive as well. So it looks like I may have been able to fix my GoPro temporarily. So it seems to be working at the moment. I think this will be my last trip with this GoPro, but I've had this GoPro for years, a long time. So I think it's a GoPro 8, so what, 6 years maybe more, I don't know. But anyway, I'm now at Dubai Marina. I was going to come here later in the evening, which I probably still will, but I could do with some lunch, so I'm going to try and find a nice restaurant to get something to eat and chill out with a cold beer. But I think this should look pretty amazing when it's night time. Part of me would love to chill on the beach, to be honest. And there's the big wheel, which I think is actually bigger than the London Eye. I think it's called the Dubai Eye. Not much difference in name compared to the London Eye, but I believe it is bigger. And then you've got the Palm over that way. When it comes to Palm, I really enjoyed it actually. I thought the view at the Palm was really impressive. It was quite interesting to hear all about how it was made. It was a little bit overpriced in my opinion at £20 a ticket. I think it should have been somewhere between 10 and 15. As for the aquarium, still a bit unsure. Some of the tanks seem to be big enough and fine for some of the sea life. Some of the tanks seemed a bit small, so I don't know if it's really ethical. But it was really beautiful in there. Again, a little bit overpriced at about £20 a ticket. It would have been more if I didn't get it in advance. But I think, again, it should have been about between 10 and 15 pounds for the aquarium. But I enjoyed it. I'm just a little bit unsure if it's right to keep fish in captivity in such small tanks. Public transport seems to be quite easy. The metro is quite cheap, like £1 or so for different journeys. It's quite easy to use, just standard sort of metro that you get in most cities. There's also a bit of a tram link, and there's a monorail when you go onto the Palm. Taxis seem to be cheaper than Ubers, so I got an Uber earlier and I went a longer distance with a taxi, which worked out quite a bit cheaper. So it's definitely worth getting taxis ahead of Ubers, and they take card, which is good. But a lot of the metro stations look a bit like that. But yeah, it's quite easy to get around. The only problem there is make sure you get in the right carriage on the metro, because I didn't realise, but I was in a ladies only carriage. Men are not allowed, and you can get fined. And it was only when a woman said to me, "You're not allowed in here," that I understood, and I had to get out of the carriage quickly. Pretty much as soon as I got off the metro towards my hotel, I was greeted with this, just like loads of adult cars. They're all over the streets. I mean, all the way down to my hotel. There must be thousands of them, and they're all like that. And it's like, I wouldn't have expected something like this in Dubai. You know, Amsterdam, maybe? I don't know, although it's a bit more refined in Amsterdam. It's just crazy to have this on the streets when it's meant to be severe crime with severe punishments. So it just seems bizarre to me and quite a surprise. So I'm in Abu Dhabi on a half-day tour to see the Grand Mosque, which is here. I'm going to go inside shortly. I don't think I'm meant to be vlogging. I was kind of warned that you're not really meant to be doing this, talking about things, posing for pictures or anything like that. But whilst I'm still outside the mosque, I thought I'd try and do a bit of an update. I've had to cover my arms up because you're not allowed to show tattoos, and it's quite hot, but it's not too bad. They're very, very strict here. There was like security checks. They took my playing cards off me. For some strange reason, I wasn't allowed to bring playing cards in here. I know I probably shouldn't have brought them, but I always have a deck of cards on me. And yeah, they took them off me. Crazy. So it reminds me a little bit of the Taj Mahal in India, where it's made from marble, but there's different stones set into it. So this is the world's largest handmade knotted carpet in the world. Yet again, I found myself in a shopping mall, this time in Abu Dhabi. But yeah, the mosque was interesting. I couldn't really do a lot of vlogging there because they were quite strict with a lot of things. But yeah, it was a really pretty mosque to see. Went with a tour group, like a big group, because it worked out a lot cheaper. The only downside, as always, is having to wait around for other people, and there was a lot of waiting around. So I'm just going to hang out here for like another hour, and head back to Dubai, and try and do the last couple of things I want to do in Dubai before I leave tomorrow. So I've come all the way up to Zabil Park. It took quite a bit longer than I thought actually, but this is kind of the furthest thing out now that I've still left to see in Dubai. And there's like a big frame in the park called a Dubai frame, and I believe you can go inside and look out for like a lovely view. However, I've just tried to go into the park and they won't let me in because there's some kind of Indian festival, Diwali. It now means that I can't go in the frame. To be honest, I don't think I was going to go in the frame anyway. It means I can't go in there, but I might still be able to get a look at it from the outside of the park. And this is the Dubai frame. To be honest, I don't think I would have gone to the top anyway, so I don't think I'm missing much. Now, my next stop, which is the Museum of the Future, which is a really impressive building from the outside. I do plan to go in. It's open till 7. I need to leave here before sunset because I want to go and see the water fountain show a bit further down from here. So I'm only going to have a flying visit in here, but it should be interesting. So maintenance museum, but I'm not buying a ticket. General tickets are sold out for weeks, but they sell a Pioneer ticket, which is like £80 that would have worked out at. That's just ridiculous. I think the standard entry is about between £10 and £20 from what I could work out. But I'm not paying 80 quid to get exactly the same ticket because the general one's sold out. It just makes no bloody sense. It's a bit of a scam, I think. A bit of a con. It's a bit of a shame because I actually want to look in here because it looks like there's some really cool, interesting things. But at least it means I've got plenty of time now to make it to the fountain show just down the road. So in some ways it's a good job I didn't go inside the museum because I've only got 40 minutes to get to this fountain show and I can't find my way out of the mall. I came off the metro, came into this huge mall, Dubai Mall, which looks even bigger than the one I went to in China that was meant to be the biggest one. So it's just so poorly signposted as to how the hell to get out, and this place is huge. I mean, it was like going to an airport just to get off the metro. The amount of travellators, I must have gone on about 10 of them just to get out of the bloody metro station to the mall. And now I am lost. So I think I've just about made it. I'm now at one of the, well, probably the most iconic building in Dubai, which is the Burj. When I first got here, I didn't think it was too busy, but now I've come round to a better viewpoint. It is packed, bloody packed, all around the lake. But hopefully, I can maybe get towards the front for a decent view. Back to the marina, and this is where I'm gonna kind of end my evening. Might try and find a karaoke place where there's one close to my hotel. My thoughts on Dubai then, it's kind of what I expected in some ways, but I have kind of enjoyed myself as well. I think it's probably more expensive than I was prepared for. It's easy to get around on the metro, but everywhere's quite far. So I mean, it's a good 40 minutes to get to the frame from where I was with my hotel, and then waiting for the metro. They're not really frequent, and they were just so busy and so crowded. In general though, it's been a good trip. I've loved the weather. I think the most important thing has been the hot weather, which I've missed this year in the UK. I don't see much culture here, which is what I was concerned about, why I didn't think I'd enjoy it that much, but I mean, the nightlife is good fun. I feel very safe here. I don't think there's any real safety issues or anything here. The only thing is obviously if you're drunk in public or something, but I was fine. I got drunk last night. I didn't have any problems whatsoever. Didn't get into any trouble. But yeah, it's somewhere that I might come back to. I feel that I've seen most of what I needed to see, so if I did come back, it might be for a layover on the way somewhere else, and would maybe give me a chance to do the Museum of the Future, because I really wanted to do that, but I was not going to pay £80 for a ticket that was exactly the same as a regular ticket. Why they couldn't sell the regular ticket at a normal price, I don't know. It was just a con, I thought. But if I came back, I'd definitely book in advance to go there. But yeah, it's been a good trip, and I would recommend it.